Hey guys, it's TECHOSAUR, and today I'll be reviewing this new release from JSAUX, a 7-in-1 docking station that's also equipped with a dual fan cooler. It features all latest ports such as HDMI 2.1, offering for an up to 4K at 120Hz, enabling variable refresh rate and auto low latency mode. Additionally, it supports high power delivery at maximum 100-watt charging. So I'll be testing it on the Ally X. And if you are wondering about the backplate I currently have on, it's also by JSAUX. I did a review of it, so feel free to check it out in the recommended video above. Now let's get into the unboxing of this 7-in-1 docking station. First, you will find a product overview card showing the ports and the layout of the docking station. There is also a paper guide on how to update the docking station firmware. As of the time of making this video, there has been no new version available yet. And here is the first component we have, which is the cooler. Next, we have the docking station itself. This Type-C port at the bottom connects to the base. Instead, the top cable links to your handheld device and also has a designated storage port when not in use. Note that this storage port doesn't provide power or data. On the back of this docking station, we have a Type-C port at 5 gigabit per second. Another two USB 3 ports also at 5 gigabit, an Ethernet port, an HDMI 2.1 port, and a power delivery port capable of 100 watt. This should be more than enough to run the Ally X at turbo power. Finally, we have the base. This is where you place your device. At the front, it has this silicone padding to protect screen, and there is also this extra padding provided for added protection. The base also has a Type-C connector to connect to the female Type-C port on the docking station, and they have included a 90 degrees Type-C adapter in case you need it. So those are the three main components: the fan, the docking station, and the base. To assemble, plug the docking station into the base using the Type-C port at the bottom. Then, to mount the cooler, ensure you place it on the side with the cutout in the middle. It magnetically attaches to the docking station, and actually it's very secure once mounted. As you can see, no matter how much I shake it, it wouldn't fall off. Connect its cable to the side port found on the base. For maximum power, make sure to use a 100-watt cable and power brick. Using the Ally X original 65 charger will limit the power delivery and prevent from running it on turbo mode and charge fast. As soon as I connected, the RGB lighting at the bottom turns on. You can cycle through 12 RGB effects using a button on the base. To turn on the fans, press the button on top of the cooler. The fans also have RGB lighting, though it isn't customizable. Testing the airflow, the fans are quite strong, but they are also on the louder side, reaching up to 75 decibels. I wish there was an option to adjust fan speed to balance noise and cooling performance. Now it's worth noting that if you use the extra protective padding, the Ally X won't fit due to its depth. Removing this silicone padding resolves this issue. And make sure to connect it to the power port of the Ally X to enable the charging and access all the docking station additional ports. One great feature is the lack of any gap between the cooler and the device, ensuring all airflow is directed for optimal cooling. I also tried putting the original Ally and it fits in perfectly, and you can also put the protective pad with it as well. I also tried on Steam Deck OLED and LENOVO Legion Go, so it basically supports all mainstream handhelds. Now the time has come for testing the cooling capability to see how effective it is. I'll be doing some benchmarks using the JSAUX backplate with its heatsink installed, and I'll be also testing it on the default backplate for understanding the difference it makes. For the setup, I've set the power limit to 30 watt, the Ally X fans to max, VRAM to 8G, and CPU boost enabled. First benchmark we have is Cinebench R23. For scores, the default backplate without the cooler has the lowest multi-core score, but only by a small gap compared to the default backplate with the cooler. Now JSAUX backplate alone, about a 100-point increase compared to the default setup, with the cooler has almost the same score. Now for check temps, we'll find quite interesting stuff. CPU temp 81 degrees with the default backplate. And even with the cooler, it's the same. For the JSAUX cover, it's 80 degrees and it got reduced to 76 with the JSAUX plus the cooler. SSD temp 50 degrees with the default, 46 with default plus cooler. JSAUX cover alone, it's 49 degrees and 45 with the JSAUX plus the cooler. Now SSD hotspot 66 with default, 62 default plus cooler, 63 with JSAUX cover and 60 JSAUX plus cooler. Switching to GPU, 57 degrees with default, 55 with default plus cooler, 55 again with JSAUX cover, and finally 52 with JSAUX cover plus cooler. Next benchmark, I tried TimeSpy stress test. And interestingly, FPS stability improved to 99% with the JSAUX cover backplate plus cooler, compared to 98.7% with the JSAUX cover backplate alone. Also, the default backplate cover, along with the cooler, saw an improvement getting to 98.8% from 98.1% with the default backplate alone. Checking temps that have been measured after this test, we have for CPU temp, it's 71 for default, and this time with cooler, it got to 63, while JSAUX cover had it at 69 by itself, and with cooler, temp has been reduced significantly to 62. Also, SSD temperatures saw a small reduction. As for GPU, similar reductions, with the JSAUX setup benefiting the most. Thermal imaging after 20 loops of the TimeSpy test highlights how the cooler has helped the JSAUX backplate, improving its cooling efficiency, especially with the heatsink on. You can see we have less saturated red spots compared to when we have JSAUX cover by itself. Also, the original cover saw some noticeable improvements. Now, in actual gaming scenario, the cooler consistently reduced CPU and GPU temps by around 2 to 3 degrees with the default backplate. Combining it with the JSAUX backplate resulted in a 6 degrees difference compared to default back cover, and that's quite impressive. So if you are looking for a great docking station, this one from JSAUX is an excellent choice for the Ally X and other handhelds as well. It offers cutting-edge features, effective cooling, and a sleek design. By pairing it with their backplate will provide even better results. So if you are interested, you can use the discount code TECHOSAUR at checkout. I hope you enjoyed this video and found it useful. If you did, please leave a like and subscribe to the channel. And let me know in the comments below what you think about this docking station. Thanks for watching and see you in the next one.